What is up, guys? This is Art Shaken again. Time for another video. Now, I know it's been quite a while and I won't really get into it. Just been busy. But I have found one of the best ways to mod my Zenistar like you would not believe. I like the Zenistar like anybody else, but there is a big demand for the ribbons, and the ribbons cost a lot of platinum. And one of the biggest stats that you get is range. Well, I like range, but I've never seemed to get my Zenistar to be god tier, in my opinion. Something that just blows everything else out of the water or is so stinking close that it becomes my one and only weapon that I use no matter what. I have found the combination. So, without further ado, let's jump into it. So basically what I'm looking at is a little bit different build than you've previously seen. So we're going to start with Cleaving Whirlwind at the top. It doesn't have to be that. It can be the other one, the Temple Royale. It just kind of depends on how you like to play, personally. It doesn't matter too much because what we're talking about is the section of the Zenistar that comes out and destroys the enemies, not the actual weapon itself. And some of the things that I've been looking over in the wiki is there's a couple of things that don't even matter. One of the things that I saw, well, the first thing that I saw was Berserker. Usually people are like, oh, go Berserker because, you get 75% attack speed extra. That kind of just builds up over time. Yes, that is true. However, if you actually go into the wiki for this weapon and you go, I don't know, maybe like halfway down through the notes, you'll actually see that Berserker actually doesn't affect the little bitty thing. The what is it called? Um, the disc. The disc. That's what it is. The disc. Which is kind of interesting to me. I kind of thought that it would. I mean, even though the Liberty symbol does eventually get up to like 75%, it's not. It doesn't affect the disc portion. It only affects the hilt, the handle, the actual weapon itself. And that's not what I like to use it for. That's not what a lot of people like to use it for. Um, One of the other things that I saw was um, there's a few things that don't necessarily do too much damage. I see people do high status builds. I'll see a lot of people do gas builds. But I like it. I like the blast personally. It knocks the enemies down, and that really helps. I do have a ribbon. I'll show you guys. This is not a god ribbon by no means. I didn't have to spend 1,000 platinum to get something like this. I spent considerably less. I have a little bit more attack speed. I have a little bit more range, and I have electricity. Now, the reason why I wanted to go electricity is for that corrosive. The big number of enemies that I end up fighting are going to be Grenier or the Void. So the enemies that I like to destroy are going to be on the tougher side, up in the hundreds, up in the 150s eventually, maybe, who knows. I did do Gladiator Vice, so those of you who don't have it, you can get this in the Plains of Eidolon, and go ahead and farm through the bounties. Now, some people are going to ask, hey, do I need to have Gladiator mods on my Warframe to boost up the crit chance? No, you do not. That is completely optional to whoever wants to do it. It'll help a little bit. It could help a tremendous amount, but in the grand scheme of things, you're not really going to notice it too much. Now, I have been messing around with the Vicious Frost, Primed Fever Strike, and Volcanic Strike. I've swapped out to the 90% elemental damage versus the status chance on elemental damage, and this comes out to be the most well-rounded, and that's what this build is for. This is supposed to be a well-rounded weapon just in general for almost anything that you do. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at it. Now, before I pull something up, I am going to show you the difference between the Chroma Fury build. That works really well with the Rhino Roar build. It works really well with Mirage. Oh my gosh, that's so much fun. that was the point. Alright, so let me pull up my Zenny. Alright, so these are the enemies that I pretty much threw down. I've been looking at Eximuses because those are going to be the strongest version of those units, and that's what I really wanted to show you guys. I threw in the Bombard and the Heavy Gunner just because those are top tier heavy dudes. So I like to go ahead and start off with 115. Let me kill everything out there, and let's go ahead and pull these suckers out. Alright. Now, I'm going to show you the damage that it's going to do with the Vex Armor and Fury all the way up. Now, what we're looking at is, here's a Leech Eximus, Energy Leech, an Arctic Eximus, and then right on this end is going to be the Corrupted Bombard. Now, I didn't bring out an Eximus version just because they come so rarely, but I'll pull one out just to show you guys anyways. Alright, now this is with Chroma's damage. I mean, look at these numbers. I mean, it should be before 30 seconds is up. Yeah, so we're looking at 36, 37 seconds left on the clock, which is about 8 seconds total from just the disc. It was pretty stinking beautiful, if you ask me. Now let's go ahead and I'll show you guys the difference between using Chroma's enhancements and without it. Whoops. Don't look at those numbers yet. I'm getting there as soon as I can. Yeah, that's fun. Alright. Let's kill all these enemies. They weren't already dead. Now let's just go back out there, and I'll show you how well these things just get demolished. I mean, look at those numbers. Isn't that beautiful? Now, there is a weird thing that I found. I don't know what it is entirely, but... And now they're dead before 30 seconds. So you're looking at around, what is that, like 14-ish seconds, give or take? 13 seconds, something like that. Still not that bad with just the disc. And that's what I'm pointing out. I love the weapon, but I use it for the disc when I use it. I mean, if I go to a defense, I want a little bit bigger radius to cover the defense platform or the person that I'm defending. I want it to do just enough damage to knock the people in the area down, and then I don't have to worry about them. Now, it's one of the other things is that you'll probably be like, well, oh, this would be really great with this person or this person. And I'm going to show you a few. First one, I'm going to show Rhino, just because, I mean, a lot of people like to use Rhino for his roar. And actually, let's make sure he's built for roar. No? Yes. Alright. Okay. All dead. I think there's one dude over to the side, and I can't remember what kind he is. Alright. So let's go ahead and throw those little buggers down there. I'm just going to go ahead and throw on roar real quick, and then I'll show you guys the damage that this is going to do. Roar, and I got it up to 141%. I mean, of course, you guys can get it up to higher if you're just doing damage, but I like to have like just an equaled out one. Saying we're already jumping into like the tens of thousands in ticks. And what you really notice, the reason why it's killing so quickly is because my Riven has attack speed, Gladiator Vice has attack speed. I actually have the normal attack speed mod onto the Zenistar. I mean, it's based on speed, and since Berserker doesn't affect the disc, then I had to find a way to make 50% a little bit better. So 50 plus 30 plus, obviously, the 22.4. Now, of course, if I had my pick of it, I might, and this is a might, just do more attack speed and more range. But I do like the elemental damage. If you could get, yeah, I'd still say the attack speed, because if you're going for the disc, what I'm talking about, that's where I would steer you in the direction of. And then here, let me go ahead and change this back so I don't mess up my loadout. And then I'm going to show you one more. And then if you guys have any opinions, comments, questions, go ahead and hit me up. And then if you guys really like it, you could hit the like button. But that's not what I'm here for. I'm not here for the like, the subscribes like everybody else. I don't care about that stuff. What I care about is I love this game. This is my favorite game I've ever played. And I play it all the time. And what I really want to enjoy is something that people aren't like, oh, this is the best thing for this. It's like, well, this is the most common thing out there, but I don't know if I'd say the best. Now, one big thing are people going to be like, oh, how about Excalibur? And I will show you. Loving it. Just loving it. It just melts them like butter, like ice cream butter. No, like vanilla bean butter. Oh, vanilla bean butter. Okay. Anyways, I think that about covers it. I did test out Valkyrie. I do love her fourth ability, War Cry. One of the surprising things I did see is only on one of the bigger enemies, like the Eximus versions. I really want to show you guys something before I jump off here. Let's go ahead and kill everyone. And let's raise this all the way up to 155. Alright, let's simulate. Now, with all this attack speed, she is wicked fast with Hysteria. Now, it doesn't seem that fast right now. But what I really wanted to point out is the speed, good speed. The damage, amazing damage. Once I get to this Bombarder, you're going to see a finisher damage of around 1 million. And that's what I want to show. Oh, that was too strong. Well, that was a bummer. It worked. Let's just put it that way. There is a build out there that I actually use for farming focus. It's a Banshee Silence build with the augment, the Savage Silence. It does finisher damage, which is really nice. I believe that this does not affect the disc, but it does affect the Zenistar as the heavy weapon itself. So if you're doing focus farms, which I do with the Atarax, and all I throw on is my silence, and I'm just running in and dead. I mean, I killed the Bombarder in one move, which was nice. And as I go down, should affect the... Well, yeah. I mean, a little bit of it, but you can always get that really nice, like, one-hit kill with it. So it is up there with... Oh, wow, yeah. You saw the damage right there. Alright, guys. I know that was a lot. I didn't mean to take so long to get through such a simple concept. Give this build a try. Give something similar a try. Once you get to the Zenistar to replace the this right here, I would probably look in the ways around probably more electric, shocking touch. I'd probably replace the Zenistar with. Just because you can't get any more speed, you can't get any more range, but you can get more corrosive damage. And since blast damage does damage against a different variety of enemies, and corrosive is more for a Grenier or somebody in the void, I would do more corrosive. That way you're still knocking them down with blast, but you're doing quite a bit of corrosive damage. Now, I did try a couple other things, like Weeping Wounds wasn't working the way you would think it would. Condition overload is going to be a big question. This actually doesn't affect the disc either, so this is out. Neither does drifting contact. Not the status doesn't do enough, and the duration means nothing for the disc, which is a little frustrating. As far as I know, Life Strike and Healing Return don't affect the disc, so it's pointless if you're going for a disc build. I would, yeah, that's what I'm doing. What is this, Northwind? Oh, yeah, this is the right build. This is the right build with the Vicious Frost. You're gonna need the 60% and 60% on at least two of them. So when you're changing them out for a different build, and you guys can try gas all you like. I like this build better. Try and keep at least two of them. These gold mods, like Volcanic Strike and Vicious Frost, you're going to need that 120% extra status. It acts a little funky without it. I don't know why. And as you can see, I still don't have even my Fever Strike completely maxed. And I don't have my Prime Fury completely maxed. So you're looking at a potential of a little bit more, but a 15% more increase on toxin damage, and I believe another 5% on attack speed. And attack speed is what makes all those ticks go by so quickly with the disc. So, alright guys, I hope you guys like that. If you guys have any questions or comments, like I said, go ahead and let me know. If I don't answer, great. Sorry. I mean, I am in game. I'm probably working on something new with what I like. If you guys have any suggestions, though, I'm actually all about suggestions. I mean, I am Master Rank 25. I have nothing else better to do than to look for new ways or try out new things. So, if you would like to see a Banshee focus build and farm, go ahead and let me know. Have a good one.